We all know the 8th commandment, thou shalt not steal. And we are sure that we are pretty much keeping this one. We aren't robbing banks. We aren't shoplifting. For the most part, we are good, honest Christians. But what if I told you that 90% of Christian creatives have stolen something in the last month? And they don't even know it. I'm talking about the photo you used for your Sunday service announcements or your sermon slides. I'm talking the generic Christmas background you dropped into your service slides. We take photos we didn't take. We use music we didn't license. We copy caption styles from bigger influencers and call it inspiration. And I get it. I've been there. When I was handling communications in my previous church, I have a playground in the internet. My trusty go-to tool? The Google image search. It's as easy as search cross on hill. Click, save, and drop it in. Reliable, fast, and free. Right? Well, today I want to talk about the theology of citation and why giving credit isn't just a legal requirement. It's a spiritual discipline. That is why I created this series to equip Christian creatives on how to create in an AI world. In episode 1, we talked about the role of AI music in modern worship. In episode 2, we talked about the love-hate relationship of the church with new music instruments and implements. In this series, we are now talking about ethics. The moment I realized I was stealing was not when I got a copyright strike. It was when I started to use those free resources myself, sites like Pexels and Unsplash, and saw how much effort goes into a single high-quality image. When you take off a photo from Google Images and crop out the watermark, you are essentially ignoring the labor of the human behind that photo and the effort that went into it. In essence, you are taking a gift that wasn't given. And here's the kicker, something that I just realized recently. You know the famous quote that Spider-Man gave us all, with great power comes great responsibility. And I think for Christian creatives, it is this. With great freedom comes great responsibility. The freedom to create easily, to access millions of assets demands a greater responsibility to honor the source. Pinapasalamatan nga natin si God, diba? Sa lahat ng mga pinagkakaloob niya sa atin, lahat ng blessings. Ano ba kaya yung mga tao mismo, the humans behind those photos, stock videos that we use? Why can't we thank them? Why can't we acknowledge them? Diba? Diba? And this brings us to a short devotion. The question is, how should Christians act when the standard practice is to take and run? Let's turn our Bibles to Luke chapter 10, verses 30 to 37. A Jewish man was traveling on a trip from Jerusalem to Jericho, and he was attacked by bandits. They stripped him of his clothes and money, beat him up, and left him half dead beside the road. By chance, a Jewish priest came along, but when he saw the man lying there, he crossed to the other side of the road and passed him by. A temple assistant walked over and looked at him lying there, but he also passed by on the other side. Then, a despised Samaritan came along, and when he saw the man, he felt deep pity. Kneeling beside him, the Samaritan soothed his wounds with medicine and bandaged them. Then he put the man on his own donkey and took him to an inn, where he took care of him. The next day, he handed the innkeeper 2 pieces of silver and told him to take care of the man. If his bill runs higher than that, he said, I'll pay the difference the next time I am here. Now, which of these 3 would you say was a neighbor to the man who was attacked by bandits? Jesus asked. The man replied, the one who showed him mercy. Then Jesus said, yes, now go and do the same. Here, the priest and the Levite saw the injured man and passed by on the other side. They did the minimum required by their travel plans, because stopping by would be costly. Passing by was convenient. On the other hand, we saw a Samaritan stopping by, canceling, postponing his plans, and soothing the wounds of this stranger putting bandage on it, putting him on his own donkey, carrying him to an inn, where it says he took care of him. He stayed the night. The next day, that's when he told the innkeeper to take care of the man so he can proceed with his own travel plans. He even gave the innkeeper money and promised that he'll be back. Put the bill on his tab so that he can pay him whatever cost that would entail the innkeeper. Talk about extra mile. Likewise, when we use a free resource, a beautiful stock photo or footage from Pexels, and it says no attribution required, and we chose to credit the artist, it costs us nothing but a fraction of our time. It is going the extra mile. It is a good Samaritan act. It is the Christian creative distinguishing themselves from the crowd. It is honoring another human being. Now let's take the pressure off. Being a creative means copying. Austin Kleon wrote a fantastic book called Steal Like an Artist. His premise is that nothing is original. And for the longest time, I've subscribed to this belief. All creative work builds on what came before. This concept is called the genealogy of ideas. Even in the Bible, the authors remix each other. Mary's Magnificat, which is found in Luke chapter 1, it's a beautiful remix of Hannah's prayer in 1 Samuel 2. The Apostle Paul quotes Greek poets. The difference between inspiration and plagiarism comes down to two things: transformation and attribution. Bad theft is plagiarism. It means copying the work, hiding the source, and claiming that it's yours. Now, good theft or inspiration, it's studying the work, crediting the source, and making it something new. This is what we should be doing. So how do we fix this today? Here is my honorable creative protocol. 1. The inspo check. If you saw a reel and decided to recreate the concept exactly, tag the original creator in the caption. Say, concept inspired by and their name. It costs you nothing, but gains you respect. The stock footage rule, or the extra mile. If you use free or royalty-free sites like Pexels or Unsplash, and by the way, I've put a link on the description box below so that you can check these out if you haven't used them. And this is not a sponsored video. Anyway, so when you find a photo or video that you like, you can see there's a name in the top corner that you can copy and paste. That is the attribution. On the other hand, you can also copy the link on the search bar and paste it directly on your description box. It literally takes 5 seconds to do so. And in the future, we'll be talking about how to efficiently attribute these sources if there are 10 or more, for example, in your video. Next, the music trap. If you use AI music like I do with Suno or stock music, check the terms. Do you need to list the software? Transparency is always the goal. 4. The Theology of Citation. Finally, remember what Romans chapter 13 verse 7 says. Give to everyone what you owe them. When you cite a source, you are practicing humility. You are publicly admitting, I did not build this alone. I needed help. Citation is the antidote to pride. We pride ourselves for being creators, but in reality, we are only actually sub-creators. We are mimicking the ultimate creator, God. But God does not need to steal. He just speaks and things appear. We can't do that. We need to borrow from others. We need to build on what our predecessors put out. That's just the reality. We borrow words, we borrow chords, chord progressions, melody inspirations, lyric inspirations. We borrow album cover art inspirations. What else? We borrow other people's vision, other people's ability to hear music from the environment or from nature. That's just the nature of human creativity. It needs to have something in order to create something else. It doesn't come from an empty slate. Not totally. Because everything that we use as inspiration was first created by somebody. And for the most part, we call him God. And since we are just borrowing, the least that we can do is to be the most polite, generous and ethical neighbors. Let's go the extra mile and make it a habit to honor the people who labored and spent hours and hours working on their craft, because they are the people who made the materials that enables us to put out videos like this. They are essentially our ministry partners and the ones who help amplify the message we want to share with others. So if you've got questions and topics that you'd like for us to cover in the next episodes of The Faithful Creatives, drop them down on the comment below. And if you want to join this community and see our next episodes of The Faithful Creative, the best way to do that is to follow, like, subscribe, and share this so the algorithm will push content and channels like this out to other Christian creatives who need to hear it. See you in the next episode. God bless.